As you might already know, we usually review the latest laptops on this channel. But have you ever stopped to wonder why we review the latest laptops and why you are so interested in knowing the latest laptops with the latest hardware and whatnot? Well, the simple reason we would say, and arguably the main reason, gaming. Gaming is a huge market, and that is why we pursue the best in graphics, the best in hardware, performance, all that stuff. The best bang for your buck especially. So today, for those of you who are into gaming and want to take it a step further, let's talk about OBS. If you aren't familiar with OBS, it's basically a free and open source software that's meant for you to do video recording or live streaming. But now, depending on what you want to achieve, you might need one or a couple of things, or not. If you're just planning to screen record, you don't really need anything extra. You just need your laptop or desktop and OBS, that's it. But now, if you plan to stream, you need a few more things. The most important, the microphone. It can either be a headset with a boom mic or a standalone dedicated mic, your choice. The second thing you would want is a camera, be it a webcam or a full-size mirrorless with a device like CamLink. And again, your choice, your budget. The last thing is optional, but arguably very important, especially if you want to have the face cam. Lights, to make yourself look good. So now, let's just cover a few things first. First thing you have to do is go over to obsproject.com and download the software. As mentioned, it's free and available for Windows, Mac, and Linux. Once you have OBS installed, there will be a pop-up window that will ask you what you want to use OBS for, and OBS will help set the settings for you to get you up and running. At this point, choose whichever you want. It doesn't really matter because ultimately we'll be locking in the settings ourselves. So now that you have OBS up and running, by default, you have quite the number of stuff. You have your main preview, which is your canvas, and basically everything that's on this screen will be what's captured. And then you have a bunch of smaller tabs below which houses your scenes, sources, audio mixer, so on and so forth, and these are basically the controls for the elements that you can have in your canvas. But first, let's get the settings right because ultimately, what you end up recording or streaming will be determined by the final output in your settings. Here you just need to focus on three main tabs, which are Video, Output, and Stream. In the Video tab, this is where you can control the resolution of your canvas. By default, it will be the native resolution of your display. If it's 1080p, great. If not, change it to 1920 by 1080 for both the base and the output. Leave the downscale filter at bicubic, and for the FPS value, always use 60. Now you can record or stream 1440p or 4K or anything else, up to you, but it's also dependent on how powerful your hardware is. But 1080p 60 is arguably still the most popular and widely used. Also, file sizes aren't too ridiculous while still looking really good, so that's a plus. Now head over to the Output tab and there's a simple menu and there's an advanced menu. For now, we'll keep things simple. For the video and audio bitrate, you can leave it at the default values, but for the encoder, make sure you have the right one selected. If you have an NVIDIA GPU, make sure you're using NVENC. If you're running an AMD GPU, we would suggest running on X264. Now as for recording quality, we would suggest changing to the indistinguishable quality. While the file size is a little larger, quality is perceivably a little better than high quality, and we would say it's worth the trade-off. But now, here's a very important choice, the recording format. By default, OBS uses MKV and it is good, it's what you want. But MKV isn't that great a file if you want to edit it or share it. But you don't want to record in MP4 because if something happens midway and OBS crashes, if it doesn't get to finalize the video, you lose all of it. That doesn't happen with MKV. So to get the best of both worlds, what you want to do is head over to the Advanced and under the Recording tab, take the option to automatically remux to MP4. With this, you needn't worry if something goes awry. You can have your MKV as a backup, and if nothing happens, you have the MP4. So that's it for output. As for stream, you can either connect your account of choice or use a stream key. This basically connects OBS to your streaming platform of choice. Simple as that. At this point, the settings are all locked in and you're pretty much good to go. All you gotta do is just add what you want to be in your canvas, and that's what's going to be streamed or recorded. In the bottom left corner of OBS, you have your scenes and sources. And to understand it simply, scenes are like folders and sources are like files. Since we are going to do some gameplay capture, let's add a scene and name it gameplay. Now within that scene, we have two options to go about recording gameplay. If you click the plus button within sources, you can choose between display capture or game capture. There are pros and cons to either of them. If you use display capture, it essentially shows whatever you have on your display. Whatever you see on your monitor is what's getting captured. And as you can tell from OBS right now, it's like an infinity mirror. So if you're playing a game and you want to alt-tab to show something else to your viewers, this is what you want. Or if you just want to record stuff outside of gaming, this is also what you want. As for game capture, what OBS does is specifically taking the display output from the game application itself. So if you use game capture and you alt-tab, it will still show the game and not your desktop. One other thing is that game capture has a lighter load on your PC than display capture, so depending on your hardware, this might help you as well. But as you can tell, pros and cons. For the purpose of this video, we're going to use display capture. And at this point, if all you want to do is stream or record some gameplay, just click on start streaming or start recording and you're good to go. But if you want to record gameplay or stream with your voice, well, you need a couple more things. In the same scene, click on the plus button and you want to add an audio input capture. Create new and rename as you like. Once it's added, it should automatically grab the default microphone device on your laptop or desktop. But if you have multiple such devices, be sure to select the one you want from the drop-down list. You now have your microphone added, simple as that. Finally, a camera. Again, click the plus button within sources, but this time, select video capture device. From there, select the camera that you have connected and it should now show up within your preview canvas. Your canvas is kind of like Photoshop, so you can resize and move it wherever you want. Once you're happy with the layout and you don't want to accidentally mess with it, you can also choose to lock the source. Similarly, like Photoshop, the sequence of your sources do matter as well, so make sure your camera source is above your display capture, else it would be covered. And honestly, that's really it. This is enough for you to start streaming and people wouldn't really complain much. It's the bare minimum, yes, but good enough. Now of course, for this video, we didn't really dive that deep into what OBS has to offer because there's just so much going for it. It's a feature-packed software that can do quite a lot of things, and quite a lot of cool ones, like you can do custom plugins, transitions, stingers, multiple devices, so on and so forth. The list goes on. But hopefully with what we have shared with you today, it's good enough for you to start recording some gameplay, share with your friends or record some stuff for work or school, or perhaps you want to start streaming. You do you. In any case, if you have any questions, let us know in the comment section down below. And if you'd like us to check out or do more of such content or go deeper into OBS and what it has to offer, do let us know as well. But for now, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Till the next one. See ya!